Today, I'd like to talk about some of the problems in terms of our justice system. Uh, One of the cases that recently came to my attention, you might be aware of it, is the case of a man named Kevin Strickland. Kevin was wrongly convicted in 1979 of 3 murders, recently released by a Missouri judge. He always said that he was home watching television when the murders took place, so he always maintained that he was innocent, that he did not do the crime. He was 18 at the time he was convicted. He is 62 years old now. So all that time, those 44 years in prison, unfortunately, difficult to balance that out in terms of our justice system. The times when we do, unfortunately, get it wrong. You're dealing with human beings, and sometimes, of course, as human beings, we can make mistakes. Sometimes we can be looking for convictions and be blind sometimes to the evidence or the innocence of the person. Judge James Welsh ruled after 3 days of evidentiary hearing, and was requested by a Jackson County prosecutor. So the prosecutor requested this to kind of write the record when he realized what had happened. And he realized that the evidence used had either been recanted or disproved. No physical evidence linked Strickland to the crime scene, and a key witness recanted before her death. He was exonerated of the deaths of Larry Ingram, 21, John Walker, 20, and Sherry Black, 22, at a home in Kansas City. The hearing focused on the testimony of Cynthia Douglas, who was the only one who survived the shootings on April 25th, 1978. So she survived and later on recanted of the evidence that she had given. So difficult situations when you're dealing with justice, you're dealing with innocence, you're trying to prove, was he guilty, was he innocent? And a lot of times it's the faulty witness, not necessarily the prosecution, not necessarily other elements of the system, but you're counting on the veracity of a witness who perhaps, got the image wrong of the person, or, was confused, or just wanted to put the blame on somebody. You never know the motivations within the individual witness. But to me, as I reflect upon it theologically, it shows the caution that we have to have for our human justice system. We always want to advocate for justice. We want to make sure that justice is achieved. We feel, of course, for the victims, for the families involved in this crime, the horror it was, 3 killed, an awful situation. But then there's the other side, and that is the innocence of the person who was found guilty. So it's difficult many times in our justice system. And I think we just have to be aware of that. We have to be aware of the limitations of it, and we have to do our best, obviously, to try to achieve justice for everyone. Missouri, unfortunately, is one of those states that does not offer compensation to someone who is wrongly accused. But there was a fund established for Kevin, so money has been donated for him to help him readjust to society at such an older age. And the amazing thing about Kevin himself, various interviews have shown that he bears no malice to anyone. He just feels he was innocent, and he's going to live his life. So I think it's a good example of the caution we have to have with regard to our justice system.